What's going on, gang? Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at Unique Toys Hagen, otherwise known as the last limb piece from Unique Toys Orden. This guy, Hagen, well, he's interesting. And I say interesting because his name is interesting. Hagen is actually the illegitimate son of Alberich. And if you remember, Alberich is this guy. So, father, son. Creepy. The only accessory Hagen comes with is a hand, so he forms the right arm of Orden. Now the figure itself is actually pretty well molded. It stands with really no problems thanks to the nice ratchet joints here that are in what will be the robot's shoulders, and then these little caps that Alberich has for bending the knees. He's actually very sturdy, very stable, tail holds in pretty well. The only real articulation he has in this mode is with the legs, the mouth, the head, and the wings. And the wings fold out and are very, very big. And I like that a lot because I like to pose him high up looking down with the wings folded out like this and him going, "Wark!" So I like this mode. It works pretty well. Even though it fares better than the walking shark mode, I do have a little bit of an issue with I don't feel like there's enough black in the figure. I would like to see some more highlights of black, but otherwise it's perfectly fine. The transformation is very easy. If you've played with Alberich at all, you know how this transformation is going to go. First, we're going to reach around the back of the figure and unpeg the tail and fold it up. Then we can take the chest area of where the wings are connected and slide that back and click them into place. Reach up to where the beast head is and pull it off its connector and fold it down and then peg it into, or peg the bottom of the mouth into this little peg right here, and that will expose the robot head, as you see there. Flip this section that's behind the robot head to the back of the figure, and then reach down to where the beast feet are and actually unpeg them from the rear or the bottom, and then flip them up and peg them into place into the torso, like this. And sometimes it's actually a little bit harder to unpeg than it is to peg in. It's got some really tight connections. Then reach underneath the abdomen and flip out these shin sections. That will allow us to extend the legs and then close them up and peg them into place. Split open the feet or legs and flip out the feet. Come around back and fold down the heel spurs, which are, in all honesty, kind of useless. Stand the figure up. Take the beast arms and flip up this little kneecap. That will give the figure some elbows. Close up the foot and fold it back. Reach behind the foot and flip out this panel to flip out the hands. And then once the hands are flipped out, we're done. And actually the hardest part of the transformation is flipping out the hands because this little piece of plastic here is incredibly tight. So I normally need to take like a tool, like just something to stick in the fist and use leverage to pull the hands out. It's an issue that a lot of the figures in this line have. It's not so much a complaint as it is just a slight annoyance. Hagen looks really cool, but has the worst quality control of any figure in the line, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I want to give you guys a quick 360 look of the figure. I actually do like the figure a lot. I think he looks really cool. In terms of aesthetics, Hagen is just about perfect. It's exactly how I kind of felt the third-party version of this original G1 figure was supposed to look. And I do like him a lot, but as I said, he has some real quality control issues. Posability is pretty darn good. Head is on a ball joint, shoulders are on ratchets, swivels just below the shoulders, over 90-degree bends at the elbows. Fists do rotate, but with a heck of a lot of force. Then there's the standard hips. Then there's the standard articulation in the hips. Swivel just above beneath that. Knee bends almost 90 degrees. Feet do bend in and out along a perpendicular axis to the rest of the body so you can get some poses off. But he's so damn top heavy with those wings, you're not going to be able to pose him at all unless you're very, very careful. Head sculpt is really good. I like it a lot. It kind of reminds me of an Evil Jazz. Overall, the head sculpt could use a bit more black or a bit more coloring in the head there, not a huge issue, something I can do myself. Now, the quality control issues I'm talking about have to do specifically with the legs and the hips, and the beast mouth. We'll start with the beast mouth. He pegs into this peg, but it doesn't stay pegged in. In fact, it is a nightmare to even get it pegged in. I'm not sure if I'm doing anything wrong, but it just kind of rests there, but it won't go in any farther. I'm going to have to open up the peg hole just a little bit. Now for the legs. The hips are so loose and so fluid that all this backpack just caused the figure to fall backwards or fall forwards. The swivels are fine. The knees are also very loose. So you do have to be careful with that with this figure. But other than that, I think the figure is pretty good, though I'm starting to see them using the same parts for the limbs, and I think the reason that this guy is so loose, even his torso articulation is loose, is because the casts for these pieces are starting to go. So that's a bit of a problem, but just beware if you get this figure. So gang, I picked this guy up at BigBadToyStore.com, and you can too. As always, I'm Baltmatrix, asking you to like, comment, and subscribe, and please be sure to check me out on Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr. And I'll catch you next time.